outline, no cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2. Take a second and think of all the places that you've traveled in your life. Now pause and think, how many of those were achieved through cars? Quite a few, I'm sure. According to Statistica's Global Consumer Survey, 76% of Americans still commute daily with their own cars. But there's a current battle in the car world, a battle between the new and the old, the innovation and the established. In other words, a battle between the electric car and the gasoline car. I myself love cars and would consider myself a car enthusiast. I've ridden in both electric and gasoline cars and done extensive research on both categories. The major media pushes electric cars, or EVs, and often overlooks their drawbacks. Drawbacks that gasoline cars do not share. Today I'm going to use the cost of operation, infrastructure, maintenance, and unforeseen complication of EVs to show you why gasoline cars are still superior. Money is a controlling factor with anything in our lives, and this is still true with cars. So first, I'm going to talk about the operation cost of both electric and gasoline cars. The biggest thing that EV owners push is true. Per mile, electric vehicles are cheaper to operate than gasoline cars. 3 to 6 times cheaper, as a matter of fact, according to electrictech.co. But I consider time to be equivalent to money. And if time is money, the Department of Transportation states that even with the best charger, electric vehicles still will take 20 minutes to an hour to charge. This is time that the common American may not have to fit in their normal busy daily schedule. Gasoline cars, on the other hand, only take 2 minutes to fill up at any gas station, according to the American Petroleum Institute. Gas cars also hold their efficiency ratings throughout their lifespan. If you buy a car that gets 36 miles to a gallon, it will still get 36 miles to a gallon at 10 years later. But even though EVs have batteries that last 10 to 20 years, these batteries lose their capacity to charge by 2.3% of the total every year. This means that if you have an electric car, the first 5 years it may get 200 miles range, but the next 5, it will most likely get less, according to the EVconnect.com. JoinYA.com states that the average EV costs $64,249. This is 42% above the gasoline average. Will consumers pay extra money to try to get savings they may never see? Cost usually takes a spotlight, but infrastructure for these vehicles drive up the cost and also the time involvement. Rapid chargers for these electric vehicles are not nationwide, and even normal chargers are sparse in many areas. This is an inconvenience that consumers may worry where they may have to go to get their next charge. Gasoline cars do not have this problem. Gas stations are on every corner almost, and gas drivers know that they never have to worry where they may fill up. Dealerships also charge more for EV repairs because they had to buy specific tooling for these cars. And private dealerships, they may not be able to afford this tooling or even be allowed to purchase it. This means that the consumer will have to pay for repairs at licensed dealerships and be charged more money. Also, issues across brands for gas cars are usually common, and any repair shop can fix them. But with EV cars, you will be forced to go to the dealership you bought it from. These parts for gasoline cars are more easily sourced as well compared to EVs. While utilizing infrastructure for these cars, they also commonly can break down. EVs parts by margin are more expensive than gasoline equivalents by DriveMy.com. Specialists also can only install EVs parts, which means that it will cost more and also may take time and wait to get your car repaired. Batteries also degrade. And with this degrading, even though your battery may last 20 years, you may have to replace it in 5 just to get the same amount of range you had before. These batteries are expensive, costing $5,000 to $15,000. Gas cars, though, usually only need an oil change annually. And this oil change, on average, costs $31.66 according to Bankrate.com. Insurance companies also want to charge more for electric cars compared to gas because high collisions cost more to repair for electric vehicles. Gas cars also retain a better resale because of the collision repair cost. by average 14.3% less depreciation for gas cars over electric cars, according to MotorBiscuit.com. The final issue in this category are EVs are heavy. This means that their brakes wear out more, which means more time in the shop and more cost for repairs. Maintenance is part of owning vehicles, but so is unforeseen complications. Limited ranges, long charging times, and lacking a grid means that people traveling in electric cars experience many inconveniences and may have to plan their trip around them. EV batteries drain if sitting unused, whereas gasoline cars are left and you come back to still have the same amount of gas as before. Gas also has an extremely long lifespan and not affected by temperature, but electric vehicles are affected by temperature and lose charge in colder and warmer climates. Gas cars are also more easily refueled in emergency situations such as hurricanes and blizzards, whereas electric cars leave their owners in dangerous situations without an escape. Gasoline cars also are not affected by towing. Their range is not affected by towing. A gasoline car, if you hook a trailer to it, should go about the same amount of distance as if it before. But electric cars with distance or range is cut in half on average, meaning that if you want to take your family to the lake or if you want to go camping, you may have to wait and charge just to allow your family to enjoy some fun. Hopefully the facts that I brought to your attention today show you the other side of electric vehicles than the mainstream media shows you. In conclusion, I hope these points and arguments stated show that EVs are still inferior to gasoline technology and show this through their cost of operation, infrastructure, maintenance, and unforeseen complications. I hope all these things came together to build a case for gasoline cars today. With that, I implore you to not just listen to what the media tells you, but to do your own research and consider what's best for your family. And to remember, gasoline cars are still relevant, and if time is money, then gasoline cars are still definitely cheaper. Thank you.